Today's lesson is duty-free shopping. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're going to talk about some conversations which all have to do with duty-free shopping. We're going to be looking at beauty products in our first conversation for today. But remember, last time we talked about picking up a pre-ordered watch and then reserving perfume for pickup. And these are some services that you can enjoy when shopping for duty-free items. Now, of course, something else you can buy besides perfume and watches is beauty products. And those, of course, are similar to perfume. They're usually for the ladies. I suppose some of them could be for boys as well. But yes, these are available in large quantities in duty-free shops when you pass through the airport. And I must say, I think the duty-free shops here in Taipei at the Taoyuan airport are pretty impressive, even though I never really buy anything, but there's a lot of things there. There are lots of choices there, and I suppose you could find anything you want.
That's true, and they've done a lot of construction there, too. They used to just have sort of duty-free sections. Now they have whole stores, and it is often these luxury items, fashion items, as we've mentioned, perfume, makeup. A lot of this stuff can be quite expensive, and since much of it is imported from Europe and other places, you are paying duty on it. I guess alcohol, right? Some people go there and buy wine or whiskey or things like that. Again, things that are taxed in local stores, you can get them much cheaper. And apparently, as we learned yesterday, you can order things that you'll pick up at the airport at the beginning of your trip, so order it a few days before your flight. Or alternatively, you can go to the airport, buy the stuff, and then have them keep it for you until you come back from your trip. Pick it up on your way home. But anyways, let's look at what's going on today. It's going to be the same two shoppers. We have Sean and Lynn, and a clerk is going to be helping them this time. This is the one where I always lose my wife for about half an hour exploring beauty products. 3. Exploring beauty products. While at an airport abroad, Lynn checks out the beauty section of the airport's duty-free shop.
Hi there. Can I help you find anything? Oh, I'm just browsing, but I love trying out new beauty products. You might like this makeup set. It includes an eyeshadow palette, a lipstick, and a lip balm. If you buy the set today, you'll also receive a travel kit. That sounds perfect. The travel kit should make it so much easier to carry. Oh, and you might also be interested to know that some of our duty-free exclusives feature unique shades and limited edition designs, so they make great gifts or souvenirs. I may have to get one or two then.
大家好，第一部分介绍名词 makeup， 它的意思是化妆品。例如 Jasper says he doesn't like girls who wear makeup. Jasper 说他不喜欢化妆的女生。或者 Every morning, Shelley puts on makeup after she washes her face. 每天早上 Shelley 洗脸后都会上妆。另外补充 make up 分开的话，会是片语动词，有组成、构成，但也可以是和解的意思。找个例句 Women make up more than half of the university's student population. 女性构成那所大学一半以上的学生总数。另外一句 The children made up after their argument. 孩子们在争吵后和好了。再来看到名词 exclusive， 表示独家商品，也可以是独家新闻的意思。例如 This luxury brand released a limited edition exclusive for its VIP customers. 这家奢侈品牌为其贵宾客户推出了一款限量独家商品。或是 The fashion magazine published an exclusive about the celebrity's secret wedding. 这本时尚杂志刊登了一则关于那位名人秘密婚礼的独家新闻。另外补充这个字当形容词的用法，意思是独家的或是独有的。找个例句Netflix often launches movies exclusive to its streaming service. Netflix 常常推出其串流服务独有的电影。另外一句 An exclusive discount was offered to members of the store. 那间店的会员获得独家的折扣。后面看到名词 shade， 它的意思是色彩的深浅、浓淡或是色调。例如 Tanya painted the baby's room a nice shade of light blue. Tanya 把宝宝的房间漆成漂亮的浅蓝色。也可以说 The wall was painted in a light shade of yellow. 这片墙被漆成淡黄色。另外 shade 也有阴凉处、遮阳、树荫的意思。找个句子 If you are hot, Maybe you should sit in the shade for a few minutes. 如果你很热，你也许应该在阴凉处坐几分钟。另外 Julia sat in the shade of the giant tree. Julia 坐在大树的树荫下。
Okay, so in conversation number 3, we are checking out beauty products. We're browsing, we're looking, we're checking them out, we're exploring those beauty products. Again, there are different stores in duty-free shops in airports, and you can pick from beauty products. It could be like skincare products, or it could be other things, makeup, rouge for your face, or powder, or whatever. So while they're at an airport abroad in another country, Lynn checks out the beauty section of the airport's duty-free shop. So, of course, she's interested in that. And if I were Sean, of course, I'd probably think, well, okay, you got to go look at that, even though I'm not interested myself. I'll just stand off to the side and play with my phone. Take your time, but we don't want to miss our flight, of course.
Well, you never know. If they're in Seoul, South Korea, there could be a whole male beauty product section, whole male cosmetic section. We don't know if Sean has wonderful foundation. But anyways, yeah, it's often something for the ladies, and they have all those different brands, Estee Lauder, Maybelline, MAC, Shiseido, SK2 from Japan, and many from Korea as well. But anyways, so this is, something where they can find a lot of things, and as we mentioned, a lot of these beauty products can be expensive, and many women use them almost every day. So this can be a wise bit of shopping to do, to stock up on some of the stuff that you use a lot and you don't want to buy at a downtown department store with all the extra tax. So the clerk says, "Hi there, can I help you find anything?" And Lynn says, great line here, always remember this, folks, "Oh, I'm just browsing, but I love trying out new beauty products," she adds, as a little bit of her own personal taste or personal choice. But browsing, that's a great word. To browse is to check out a store, to look around in a store without having any one thing in mind. There's nothing that you're there to buy. You don't have a list. You're just checking it out and seeing what they have. Often when you're overseas, especially in North America, store clerks might approach you in a store and they might, "Hi, can I help you today? What are you looking for? Anything you need? Any questions? Just ask me." And if you want to politely say, "Leave me alone, I just want to look around," this is the word to use. "No thanks, I'm just browsing," is what you say, which is a polite way of saying, "No thanks, I'm not looking for anything special. I'm just looking around." So that's the word you want to use. "No thanks, I'm just browsing." And any good clerk should kind of just leave you alone until you do have a question.
Sometimes clerks can be a little pushy.
They can be, yeah.
They want to sell you something, of course. They want to do a good job, but usually they should recognize that customers do need a little time to check things out, to browse, to see what's there, and they should leave you alone, but be available if you have any questions. Okay, and here's what the clerk says. "Well, you might like this makeup set." So here the clerk, of course, is offering some choices to Lynn. Yes, you might like this makeup set. Makeup, of course, is stuff that you put on your face mostly to make yourself beautiful or to make yourself look better. It could include rouge or lipstick or eyeliner and stuff like that. So that's all part of makeup. And even nowadays, guys are using makeup as well. As you mentioned, the Korean stores probably offer lots of makeup for guys so they can look like they're in a boy band or something like that. And it includes an eyeshadow palette, a lipstick, and a lip balm. Okay, so these are the items in this makeup set. A set, of course, are many things put together. And yes, we have eyeshadow palette. A palette is kind of flat, like artists use those to mix their paints together. You take some cerulean blue or something and mix it with some kind of yellow, and you can get some sort of green or something like that. So that you do that on the palette. And I guess you do this if you're putting eyeshadow on your face. You kind of mix it or prepare it on a palette, and then you apply it to your face. A lipstick, of course, will go on your lips to make them nice and red and beautiful. And lip balm is kind of something to actually help out your lips be healthy.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with men wearing makeup. We would wear makeup, right? Wouldn't we, Roger? But
yeah,
we just
when we're on camera
we have perfect skin, though, so we don't really need makeup.
Speak for yourself. I've got lots of wrinkles on mine, so I would have to wear makeup.
No, don't say that.
Camera. Well, it's a reality, nowadays. You got to look your best. So yes, indeed, this is part of the makeup set. And then the clerk goes on to say, if you buy the set today, you'll also receive a travel kit. So they're offering Lynn a special deal deal here. Yes, act now. And you could also get a travel kit at no extra charge.
There you go. And that might come with some makeup or maybe some hand cream, some suntan stuff, some skin protection, maybe a lip balm to keep your lips nice and soft when it's dry outside, the kind of things you'll use more often when you're traveling. Lynn says, that sounds perfect. That sounds great. The travel kit should make it so much easier to carry. It'll also give you a nice little bag to put all your things in to keep everything nice and tidy in your suitcase, and also something you can use easily in the hotel bathroom. The clerk adds, oh, you might also be interested to know that some of our duty-free exclusives feature unique shades and limited edition designs, so they make great gifts or souvenirs. Well, this is kind of a cool thing. I guess companies like this have figured out that a lot of people do their shopping at the airport, and to maybe get them to shop a bit more at the airport, they have duty-free exclusives. So things that you can only get at the airport or in duty-free shops. We know that because they're exclusives. Something that's exclusive is limited to a certain group or a certain number. It's only at a special time or in a special place can you get it, that kind of thing. So a special offer that if you're a member of the company, have a membership card or subscribe and follow their emails and their company website, they might let you know about these things. Very special things, limited numbers, limited time for only the big fans of the company. And they have things like unique shades. A shade is basically a form of a color: light blue, dark blue, navy blue, aquamarine. These are different shades of colors. So special colors that you can't get in the big shop downtown, you can only get at the duty-free store, maybe online. Limited edition designs. Look, we have a mascara case, and it was designed by a famous artist or a famous actor or celebrity collaborated with us on this one. So again, something you can't get everywhere, only here at the duty-free shop at the airport. So they make great gifts or souvenirs. If you have a friend who really loves this company too, you can buy one and give to them as a gift, since they might not get it at the airport. Or a souvenir. A souvenir is like something you buy on holiday. It comes from the French word to remember, and it basically means, something that will help you remember your holiday, a thing you bring home. Often people will buy t-shirts or a coffee cup with Paris written on it, or a bag or something like that. They bring it home. Where'd you get that? Oh, I got it on my holiday in Paris. It was great. We saw this. We went here, and this is something that helps me remember that wonderful journey, that wonderful experience. So you can bring it home with you and remember that time. And Lynn thinks this all sounds great. She thinks about it for about 2 seconds. I may have to get 1 or 2 then. So she's definitely sold, and it's just a question of how many of these wonderful exclusives she will be buying.
Let's move on now to the second conversation we're going to talk about today. Conversation 4. We are learning about packaging options. Let's listen.
4. Learning about packaging options. A colorful display of cakes and confections draws Sean and Lynn to the sweets section. Wow, those cakes look fantastic. Should we get some?
They do look amazing, but won't they spoil easily during our flight?
Excuse me, I couldn't help it over here, so I wanted to let you know that we do offer insulated packaging to keep our cakes fresh during travel. It includes protective seals and cooling elements that last for 6 hours to keep them from going bad. Well, that should do the trick.
Yeah, that's a great option.
It's settled then. I'll take this cake with the insulated packaging, please. Absolutely. I'll wrap it up for you.
第二部分看到名词 confection， 它的意思是甜点或是糕点。例如 This bakery is famous for its handmade chocolate confections. 这家烘焙店以其手工巧克力甜点闻名。再看一个例子 The chef created a unique confection using exotic spices and honey. 这位厨师使用异国香料和蜂蜜制作了一道独特的糕点。最后介绍动词 overhear， 指的是无意中听到。举例来说 Roger overheard his manager talking about possible layoffs. Roger 偶然听到经理在讲可能裁员的事。或是 Alexandra overheard someone mentioning her name in the other room. Alexandra 无意间听到另一个房间有人提到她的名字。
Okay, so again, we've got Sean and Lynn at the duty-free store, and they have a colorful display of cakes and confections, and those things draw their attention to Sean and Lynn. Okay, this is the sweets section. Of course, those are often common because people do buy sweets as treats to bring back. Here in Taiwan, of course, there's a tradition of traveling overseas, and then you bring back treats for everybody, and everybody gets one. They pass them out to all their co-workers or friends or whatever. So they have special shops for that, and that's where they're browsing now. These are cakes and confections. Confections are just kinds of sweet kind of foods. Treats, sugar-loaded candy or whatever.
Yeah, often the section in the supermarket might be called confectionery or something like that, meaning sweets, chocolates, candy, anything that has a lot of sugar in it. When you go out for Halloween, you're often going out collecting confectionery or confections. So sweet treats, in other words. And this draws Sean and Lynn to the sweets section. I have to admit, when I go to Tokyo, have you ever had Tokyo banana? They're these nice little cakes with a banana custard filling on the inside.
Sounds familiar.
And you'll see all the people getting on the plane flying back to Taiwan buying dozens of them.
Okay.
And I think they have like a chocolate flavor and that kind of thing. So little cakes. I guess we could put famous Taiwanese pineapple cakes. Those would definitely fit into the confections category. So as they're looking at these things, Sean is just blown away, and suddenly he's developing a very large appetite. He says, wow, those cakes look fantastic. Should we get some? So he sees a display. They probably have the cakes in a nice presentation box and pictures of them with all the sweet custard oozing out. So they look fantastic. They look great. They look wonderful. They also, when you talk about food in this way, you're also saying they look really delicious. So he says, should we get some? Should we pick up a couple of boxes or whatever? And Lynn agrees. She says, they do look amazing, but she says, won't they spoil easily during our flight? Ooh, that's a very good thing to think about. I mean, the outside of the plane is cold, but if you put it in the plane, it could be next to a heater or something. I mean, things could melt. I don't think this is a huge problem, but it's definitely something to think about. But I think they should be fine. But she's wondering if they will spoil easily, go bad, melt, made unhealthy in some way, or at least unattractive, unappealing. Will it be bad for the food to have them in a warm place for 8 hours or whatever as we fly back home?
Yes, this is an important consideration when you buy these things, especially if you buy things that are better if they're fresh. I think that's something you need to consider when you buy pineapple cakes. You don't want to buy them a week before your flight because they just won't be as fresh. So you need to keep these things in consideration. So they are learning about packaging options. And Sean, again, says these are fantastic. Should we get some? Yes, Lynn says they're amazing. But yeah, will they spoil? Well, the clerk says, excuse me, I couldn't help but overhear. So I wanted to let you know that we do offer insulated packaging to keep our cakes fresh during travel.
Cool.
So here we've got the verb to overhear. That means you heard something that somebody said, but you weren't really part of the conversation. You just happened to hear it. You may overhear people talking about the news. If they're standing nearby and talking about something, you might just happen to hear what they said. It's kind of up to you if you want to go over and say, I happen to be listening, but I can offer you some advice on that. They might get angry. How dare you listen to our conversation? This is a private conversation. You're not supposed to be involved. You're eavesdropping. But here the clerk says, well, I think I can offer some information here. I just happened to hear you saying that you're concerned about this problem of freshness, so we do offer insulated packaging. If something's insulated, it kind of protects it from the heat from the outside or from cold things, like many houses in northern countries like Europe and North America will be insulated so that it can stay nice and warm in the winter and nice and cool in the summer.
There you go. In the same way, you might wear several shirts or a sweater and a jacket to be insulated when you go out on a cold day. And I think a lot of us have seen these cooler bags. They might have that kind of silver material on the inside, and they'll be slightly padded. That's the insulation. And the kind of thing, I think they do sell them if you buy ice cream at the supermarket on a hot day. They might sell you this, or you can bring your own. You put the ice cream in there, and by the time you get it home, it should still be quite cold. It won't have risen up to the normal outside temperature. So yes, it will be to keep things cold, ice cream, fish, things like that, things you want to keep fresh and cool. and it should work to keep the cakes fresh during travel. It says it includes protective seals and cooling elements, so you can close it very tightly so none of the warm outside air should get inside. Cooling elements, maybe there'll be that kind of cold gel that you often put around your picnic things when you take food out on a warm day. Cooling elements, and it lasts for 6 hours, so it should keep it down at a nice low temperature, less than 10 degrees, kind of like a refrigerator, for 6 hours to keep from going bad. And then, of course, after that, the temperature will rise, but only quite slowly, so I'm sure you could keep it in there 7, 8 hours, something like that, without too much trouble. So that sounds great, and since it sounds great, and it sort of fixes their issue, Sean says, well, that should do the trick. When something does the trick, it is the solution that you were looking for, at least a solution that seems viable, that seems acceptable. But great, okay, yeah, let's do that. That'll do the trick. That'll solve our problem.
And Lynn says, yes, that's a great option. That's a good choice. And Sean says, well, it's settled then. We have decided. I'll take this cake with the insulated packaging, please. So he has made his decision. He's going to buy this kind of cake. And the clerk says, absolutely, no problem. I'll wrap it up for you. So if something is wrapped up, it is just given packaging for protection, or you might actually wrap something up to give someone as a gift. You'll use special paper to wrap it up, and you can give somebody a birthday present or a Christmas present or whatever. Okay, that brings us to the end of conversation number 4. It's time now to listen to Hanny, our beloved Chinese teacher who does travel a lot.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny， 我们来看今天的文法重点。在课文第一部分的对话里， Lynn 在国外的一座机场逛机场免税店的美妆区。那课文用到 Lynn checks out the beauty section 来表达 Lynn 在逛美妆区。那么 check out 在这边是做及物用，表达看一看、瞧一瞧、去查看、了解什么什么的情况。像如果我们说 Let's check out the new bookstore，意思就是我们去看一看那间新的书店吧。那这边也顺便整理一下 check out 的其他常见用法。第一个，它可以当及物用的时候，表达检验、检查、核实或是调查。假设朋友的车子一直发出奇怪的声音，那这问题也拖很久了，你也可以对他说 You really need to have a mechanic check the car out。你真的需要请修车师傅检查看看这台车出了什么问题了。第二个 check out 当及物用，还可以表达在图书馆登记借阅。例如 She checked out a couple of books from the library。她从图书馆借了几本书。那第三个，它当不及物用时，可以表达结账退房、办理退房手续。check out 之后还可以接 of 加名词来表达退房离开某地。像我们说 check out of the hotel 就是指办理退房离开饭店。在课文第二部分对话的最后， Sean 决定要买蛋糕，店员就说 Absolutely, I'll wrap it up for you。 没问题，我这就帮您包起来。那么 wrap 当动词，它有包裹或是用什么包裹的意思。 wrap something up 可以表达包装包裹某物，可能是用纸啊、布或是其他材料去包装包裹。另外 wrap up 还可以引申表达结束、圆满完成的意思。像 Let's wrap this meeting up，意思就是我们来结束这场会议吧。最后也顺便补充2个跟 wrap 有关的用法。第一个 be wrapped up in something 可以用来描述某人专心致力于某事，对某事有极大的兴趣。例如 Tina was completely wrapped up in her work and didn't notice the time。Tina 完全专注在她的工作上，没注意到时间。第二个补充的是 wrap one's mind around 或者是 wrap one's head around， 这是口语用法，表达说试图了解、理解、弄懂。那也可以写作 get one's head around 或者是 get one's mind around。 那它常常会用在否定句里面，像是 I just can't wrap my mind around these forms， 我看不懂这些表格诶。那再看一个例句是 I'm still trying to get my head around this whole thing， 我还在努力试着搞懂这整件事情。好，那以上是今天重点整理，我们来回顾今天单字吧。
Browse. Toby spent the afternoon browsing in the bookstore without buying anything. Makeup. Hannah always wears a lot of makeup whenever she goes to a party. Exclusive. This jacket is an exclusive that can only be bought at select stores. Shade. Kelly has several shades of red lipstick, including cherry and rose. Fantastic. Olivia did a fantastic job organizing the event, and everyone had a great time.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Roger.
I am Mike.
See you next time.